What was the core reason about how come you actually launched this new wireless brand?
So, first of all, what I'll say is this is a separate division, which means an entirely separate billing system, nothing to do with any of the IT systems we have internally, entirely separate customer care organization at source, and entirely separate staff and an entirely separate building. So our journey started late last summer.
Okay.
We've been tracking Metro PCS and Leap for a while.
Okay.
Started to see the traction it got. We've been talking to some of our peer group in the U.S. around the impacts it's had to business, and watched what maybe some of the U.S. carriers did, and more importantly, didn't do, and decided that while it was very, very small in Canada, we didn't see a massive need in Canada a year ago. Like most things, trends become worldwide, and so we decided to get going and get ready.
Yeah, of course.
Along the way, the need started to grow, so it's still small, but it's definitely on a fast growth clip. And so halfway through, let's call it Q1, as we're gearing the infrastructure up and doing a lot of research to figure out how to serve this growing customer need, we learned something else, and what we learned was two things from two sources, same thing from two sources. One is we didn't really lose a lot of customers to the new entrants, but the ones that we did lose, we called. Two reasons. One is what could we have done better, because quite frankly we had lots of things to fix and lots of things we need to do better, so we need to learn from that. Two, what was their experience with some of the new brands? And the second source, of course, is going through all the blogs and chat rooms, etc., to find out what people were saying who had moved to them. And they both said the same thing, and what they said is you get what you pay for, and they like unlimited, but the darn thing has to work.
Right.
So then we said, gee, there's a growing need, there's an experience in the U.S. we've been tracking and starting to act on, and now we see a big point of difference in the differentiator, and an unmet need because you have to deliver all of it, of course. So this is the new brand. It's basically unlimited wireless that works.
So how come launch a new brand? Why not just add a sub-brand to Rogers that is unlimited, just talk and text, or a sub-brand to Fido instead of creating something new in the market with potentially the same handsets, just at a cheaper rate?
Well, it's a totally different target group. So if the target group was roughly the same, we might do that if it was more of a nuance. But this isn't a nuance; it's a totally different group. And so our two brand strategies work very, very well for us, as you know.
Yep.
Our competitor, Bell, has three brands, so we don't like the position Bell has over us right now.
Yep.
And third, if you look at every other industry, whether it's packaged goods or retail or the hotel industry, I don't care, any auto industry, whatever you want to pick, when the customer need is distinct enough, that's when you go with a new brand. So this customer is a very basic need customer with above average usage, average to below average income. Sophisticated in the sense that they've been a wireless customer for a little while, and so they don't need a lot of help and support. They get it.
Yep.
But don't really need their phone anything more other than text and voice. That's why it's a slightly smaller segment of the population.
And
the Rogers brand is so not that, and the Fido brand is all about people new to wireless. $15, $20, limited type plans for people to get in there, sort of like training wheels for wireless.
Yep.
And get some experience. It has an extremely heavy carrying component with a very robust customer care organization that's been one of the best care service experiences in the industry in Canada. So that's a very different customer as well. There's nothing we could have stretched that made sense for this group.
Yeah. And for the zones that you have, it sounds like it's similar to what Fido has right now, or even what Wind has, or even Mobilicity for that matter. Is it going to be in the core city areas? Or are you going after those markets as well?
Yeah, it's an urban brand.
Okay.
It'll stay an urban brand. We haven't really told anybody what our network or zone will be like, but it's not a 21 network. Doesn't even need to be the fastest and all that kind of stuff. But it also needs to be attracted to that particular user, which isn't a user that's that mobile.
Right.
That's an iconic statement.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not someone who's roaming all over the world and traveling everywhere.
Well, it certainly seems like you're going directly after wind and mobilicity, even public mobile as well.
Well, I think that's a statement that bugs me a little, and not because you're saying it, but it bugs me because what did they do? They looked south of the border and said, "Ooh, look at that! That might work." So why are we any different?
Yeah. I certainly guess so. I guess it just comes down to timing wise, right? Because like I know that Rogers has always been there. You got a massive subscriber base, and you got great offerings. It just with the new entrants who are going hardcore with offering unlimited and no contracts. It certainly seems that not that.
We're
Pardon me?
later than Win, Mobilicity, and Public, but we're earlier than Videotron and Shaw.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in the middle.
Yeah.
Not first, but we're not last.
Yeah, very true.
But big difference. Ours works. It's a fun business, huh?
Oh, it's a great business. Great business. And how many plans, roughly? I know you can't say about your devices or plans, but roughly how many plans will you offer?
I think very basic, simple needs, so not a lot. This is a very streamlined service.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It's exciting. You know, it's anytime there's something new, it certainly is exciting, and it gives people just like you said, more options, right?
Yep.
And
If people thought we were going to leave this segment to just everybody else to have it, not us, then they don't understand the competitive nature of the industry. We're going to compete for a customer need just like we would any other company in